you know, they're all having fun at the bar. They're dancing in the rain. Who's not? Lara. And she's like, I feel like I have to have a conversation with her. And I'm like, girl, no, you don't. She calls her unhinged.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're unhinged. She just can't accept that, like, some things just suck.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be someone's fault. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Belowdeckperts, the sibling duo podcast where we recap current Below Deck seasons. Today, we're recapping Below Deck Down Under Season 3 finale. Never can say goodbye.
Do you know what obviously I understand.
Seychelles.
Seychelles.
Yeah.
I knew it was something like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, meh.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about this episode. And to be honest, every finale's like this.
Yeah.
It's just like, The last 20 minutes, you're like, okay, so they're going to go out and then they're all going to say bye. And like, I don't even have to watch this. I kind of tuned the last 10 minutes out.
Yeah. And like, I get it. We're saying goodbye to these basically characters. But it's always like, oh, let's see what they're doing after this. And they didn't give us that this time. But
yeah. So I have some info there that
Okay.
I'll give at the end. I just realized that I didn't write a question. Did you?
I did.
All right, go ahead.
I wrote 2 questions,
Okay, well,
but they ask the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So really,
You mansplained yourself.
I did. So my question of the day is, would you be angry if you were Nate?
At what?
With the whole Alicia situation this season.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think I've said this before. I think they were playing up his whole, like, white picket fence situation.
Yeah.
Like, he would have to be somewhat delusional to think you're going to find your wife in, like, 2 weeks on a boat.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this long enough. It's not like he's a brand new deckhand, you know? Mm-hmm. I think they just kind of played it up.
Yeah.
And he just went along with it, and it was fine. I mean, I think they like each other. They seem to be good friends.
Yeah.
They're like good flirty friends, but it's like, you can just tell Alicia doesn't like him enough to want to pursue it.
Yeah.
Because I think, and people are different, but she's, like, she says at the end, like, she wants to go to culinary school, and, like, she's focusing on that right now. But I think like I said, people are different. Some people are like, oh, if I met you at a different time in my life, maybe it could work. Mm-hmm. But then there's other people, like, I'm the second part where I feel like if it's the right person, you'd, like, try to make it work no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's obviously not the case either. Like, she's not really trying to make it.
Yeah, that's always like a thorn in the side of that whole thing. Where they're like, well, I'm doing all of this and I don't want to be tied down. And you're like, oh, I get it. And then you're like, but other people have made it work.
Right.
Like, ouchies.
Yeah, and I've known people that say this. I've known people to be like, I'm not ready to get engaged, but I still want to be with the person. And to me, it's like, what's the difference? Like, to me, it's like, you get to set your own rules.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, okay, I can't do that. If it was a different time in my life, no, you just really don't want to be with the person right now. And that's fine. Mm-hmm. Or like, yeah, I can't get engaged right now. Okay, so what's the difference between having a ring on your finger and not? Like,
yeah,
that's no big deal. Like, I don't know. People will probably disagree with that, but like, to me, it's like, I mean, I've told clients before, like, oh, I don't know if I ever want to get married. Great. You can be with someone and commit to them for the rest of your life without being married. Like,
yeah,
that's how I look at it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting because I understand, like, I don't want to get married right now because that's like basically a whole year of your life you're spending on planning it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be, true.
Yeah.
But if that's something you want, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, that's interesting.
Were you, I have a question.
Okay.
Because after you said to Nate, were you dying at the whole, like, boat being stuck situation?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I actually, I wrote this later on, but I'll just ask you now, like, was he not allowed to do anything for 4 hours? Was that his punishment? Because I was like, if I had, like, my book, I'd be like, this is kind of cool.
Right? Yeah.
But was his punishment, you just literally just have to sit there and stare at the...
Yeah.
nothingness for 4 hours.
I'm sure it's one of those things where like you didn't plan on marooning the boat, so you didn't bring anything
Right,
for
that's
like
true.
a marooning picnic. But I think Captain Jason would have slapped him if he was like, "Can I go grab my book?
Yeah,
Like I want to read."
Could you grab my phone on your way back?
I know I'm gonna be bored, Captain. You would be bored too. Like he would just slap him. But yeah, I think that was a pretty easy punishment for doing that.
Yes.
Sitting there for 4 hours getting made fun of by
everybody.
everyone that can see him. Not a single person isn't cracking a joke at that.
Captain, I wrote his quote. He goes, "At least we have something for everyone to laugh at coming into anchoring." So that's great. I'm like, that's me.
It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I deserve a punishment, but could it be a different one?
You deserve the embarrassment.
Yeah.
Okay, I also don't have main points because I forgot to do that as well. But basically, it's like they're finishing up the last charter. They're going to go on their night out. They're going to say goodbye. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. They did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then they got the fuck out of it.
Right. So yeah, we start off with the tender being stuck on the beach, and my first note is not the looking good.
Not the good. Not the good.
Not good. I said these idiots, like it was just funny, and I know Captain was just like, so he was irritated, but also what was funny, I was like, they're gonna get yelled at dressed as pirates.
I know. I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is a very tense time. And Nate is wearing a half-ass pirate costume. Like it's a Dollar Tree pirate costume.
I was like, you couldn't have taken it off when you saw the captain coming because you knew he was going to be mad. You're just going to sit there with an eye patch.
Yeah, like you're going to sit there with an eye patch like kind of off your eye. Like, I want to go back to the party, but I know you have to yell at me.
I said, this is so embarrassing. I would do a lot for money, but I don't know about acting like Patchy the pirate.
No.
When I was watching them, I was like, this is uncomfortable, and I would be uncomfortable as a guest.
I know. I was going to ask you that. Why? You know, like if it...
Is it like public humiliation? Are you doing it to humiliate them?
It could be. That could be it. And if it is, I respect it.
I mean, I don't.
But yeah, that's fair.
I don't think they did it for that, though.
Yeah.
I truly, these guests striked
There you go.
me as people that just didn't know what to request.
Yeah.
Like, because now granted, the 7-course tasting meal, I'm down with.
Yeah.
But like, that's also just kind of a cop-out. And not a cop-out, but that's a easy thing to request.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't request like just these crazy things that other guests have. So that's what it was. I think they were like, what can we do? Pirates?
Yeah, like boats, pirates. That's not a far walk, you know. It's not it's not out of the box. But yeah, I would be like, you know what? We screwed up. They're not fully dressed as pirates, but they're acting like them, and I know who they are. So like, there's no costume happening.
Well, and then basically it was like an adult Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
And I was like, humans really are so simple.
Yeah.
We're all just giant children.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because what do they get for that? Nothing?
Nothing.
At least in Easter egg hunt, you get stuff.
It's true. It's a good point. I was thinking, I'm like, how about they go do that? I pay one of the crew members like $10 and I get to watch them try and do cartwheels for 5 minutes. Yes. That's a lot more fun than an Easter egg hunt or a treasure hunt.
I think, yeah, again, my guess is they were like, oh, we're in a boat with some pirates? Pirates. That'll work. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the boats. The boats.
They probably do this all the time.
Boats.
Oh, man. So, they basically finish up. Yeah, they basically finish up the beach picnic. Nate has to wait for the tender on his mountain of shame, he calls it. We talked about that. But other than that, everything kind of was fine.
Yeah.
He had to wait there for like 4 hours. These guys finally got him out, and that was fine. Then I said, did I just see a dog? Did you see a dog? I think it was a stray dog.
I don't think so.
It was very quick.
I must have missed it.
It was like when Nate was waiting, I just saw a dog. I was like, dog, but it was a stray dog.
Damn.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
There's a lot of stray dogs in places that aren't here.
Yeah.
And they all look the same because they're so mutt. They're like so mixed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I always think of is Steve-O. You know that video? It's like he's got like that's like a famous video of him like rescuing his dog and
and he had to like pull a bunch of strings and figure out how to get the dog back to the United States.
Yeah. I always think of that.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
So what's next? Okay, so now we're coming to where like dinner and the guests asked for 7 courses. Lara does not like this, and Tzarina like doesn't really care. Like she'll do it.
Yeah.
It does. I at no point did I sense she was like, I don't want to do this, but she's like, I'm not going to do it because our chief stew doesn't want to wash plates.
Yeah. Solid reason.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like 99% with Tzarina and the guests, right? The guests requested it. Tzarina's like, I can do that. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, they did have like 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
Which is like, that sucks. But it's like, Lara just can't. Here's what she can't do. She just can't accept that like some things just suck.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be someone's fault. Mm-hmm. But that's where she goes. It's always got to be blamed on someone or something. Mm-hmm. Sometimes things just suck.
Yeah. Like that's... It's not like they asked for dinner and Tzarina was like 7 courses.
Right.
They asked for it. It's going to suck. It probably sucked for Tzarina. She just didn't complain.
Right.
Know?
But then so Tzarina goes and has a conversation with them about it. And it was like, they were like, oh, is the 7 courses going to make it pretty long? And she's like, yeah. If she wanted to interject, that was her perfect opportunity to be like, do you want to do 5 courses? But she didn't. And I think she didn't because of Lara.
Yeah.
I think she was like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I'll do 2 more. Who cares?
Because I was like, that was her perfect opportunity. They probably would have went for the 5 courses. However, though, that makes Tzarina look bad. No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter whether the guests were like, oh yeah, we'll do 5 courses. That still's like, oh, but she didn't want to make us 2 more.
Yeah.
There's still that in the back of your mind. And like, so why would Tzarina like kind of fall on the sword for Lara?
Yeah, and that's kind of what it broke down to.
Yeah.
Is Lara wanted Tzarina to basically be the bad guy when Lara was the one that wanted to change things.
Right.
Tzarina didn't care.
No, I know. Nobody really cared besides her. Mm-hmm. Even the other stews, like they were like, again, this will suck, but
yeah,
she calls her unhinged.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're unhinged.
Yeah. And
you are.
I like the way you put it, where you said she cannot accept that things just suck.
Yeah.
Because when she told Marina, she's like, doesn't that suck? And Marina's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And it's like...
that's a normal reaction.
That's a normal fucking person. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. She's just so, like, out to get Tzarina.
Yeah.
I saw a clip. I should have watched the whole thing. That shows how long of an attention span I have. But I think it was on Watch What Crappens. Do you know what that? I think that's like a...
You know what's hilarious?
What?
You sent me this clip, and I didn't watch the whole thing.
Did I send it to you?
You did.
Through the belowdeckperts page or my own?
Belowdeckperts.
Oh, let me look right now. I'm on it. No, I didn't.
Oh, it must...
Oh, okay. I did send it to you. That was not the one I'm thinking of.
Not the one you're talking about? Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to play it real quick, guys, because I don't even remember doing this.
Went to go and have lunch with her cheating boyfriend a month after they broke up. She sent me to go and spy on him to meet the new girl.
Oh.
Okay. That was her saying another thing about Lara, basically that whole where she's like, she went out to see my boyfriend after he cheated on me. That's where she was like, she literally sent me to do that. The other one I saw today, same thing, same podcast, maybe different interview or same interview. I'm not sure. Here's the
Did you
clip.
recommend her for the show?
Yeah, well, yes, I did. So she's still in denial about this, but again, like I had the receipts. So
Well, and it makes sense. You were on the same boat, and then she ended up on TV. So, I mean,
yeah, so basically they wanted her for other franchises and she kept being like, "Oh, I don't know." Then she called me up, I think about 6 months before, being like, "Are you doing Down Under? Because I will only do Below Deck if I'm with you." And I was like, and I do that. There was someone else that was going to be the chief stewardess, she denies this, but I literally basically convinced them and begged them that Lara would be the better option. And
wow.
I've
Damn.
never.
Yeah. And so she says she has the receipts. So that was the one I was talking about today. That was Watch What Crappens, if anybody wants to see the whole video. I was sent it multiple times by different people. So I forgot what we were even talking about. Oh, but like, yeah, and here's the thing is like, I don't know. This just could have been so much easier on Lara.
Oh, yeah.
Her life could have just been so much easier.
Yeah.
But she's the one who was making it hard. Even at the end of the episode, we'll talk about it when we get there with like the Bree and Harry thing. Girl, just shut up. Just
Yeah.
stay out of it.
I know. I was hoping I wasn't wrong in thinking that, but I'm like, this doesn't, like, I get you're really good friends with Bree, but like, sometimes you
Almost
don't have
too
to involve
good.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you almost care too much. Like if one of my friends cared that much, I'd be like, back off. Like,
Yeah.
it's not bothering me that much. Why is it bothering you that much? And the other thing too, like on the night out, I don't want to talk shit. But because again, like we always say this, these are characters. We don't know these people 100%, but you know, they're all having fun at the bar. They're dancing in the rain. Who's not? Lara.
Yeah.
She's the only one that's like not like letting loose. And it's just like, that sucks for you.
Yeah.
This is the one night you're technically not their supervisor anymore.
No.
Like you could literally just do whatever you want. Not whatever you want, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you're just still choosing to sit by Bree's side and watch Harry and oh my God, he danced with Alicia. Did you see that? Like you are just trying to create problems.
Yeah. Like you can't just have fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
I
live.
thought that too. Yeah. Stupid. And then she was like freaking out that Tzarina and Alicia kissed. I'm like, have you ever been in a bar?
Right.
Like, come on.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Even when I saw the coming attraction, I was like, okay, cool. Like it's probably their last night out, and it's probably a kiss. Was I right? Yes, I was right. So back to the episode where basically Nate gets back. Captain tells him to keep his head up. He's fine. Nate felt really bad.
He did.
So that kind of put that to bed.
He took it like a champ, though.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you gonna?
And can you imagine if Wehan did that?
Oh God!
He would have swam to another country.
It somehow he would have blamed
Yeah.
it on Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah.
And it would have been so frustrating. But it's like Nate just took it on the chin, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're basically to dinner. It's the chef's tasting menu. And they're wearing funny chef hats. And I wish they
are.
would have worn them the whole season,
I
like
know.
Captain said.
It would have been a really good like palate cleanser to see those funny hats. Because they're never not funny.
They're always funny.
Especially if the person wearing it is like arguing.
Right.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. Also, did you know there's rats? There's a rat under there.
There's a rat under there.
Yeah.
To pull on your hair.
Yeah,
To
and-
make sure you cook good.
Yes.
Everybody knows this. Signature dish, ratatouille. There's a rat under there.
I was going to say rats, but I was like, no, it's not multiple rats.
No.
It's just one rat.
It's only one rat that's really good at cooking.
And his name's Remy.
His name's Remy.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah, really good. All right. So you want to go through the food?
Yes.
Okay.
The first course was French leek and goat cheese tart.
Interesting.
These are all things that don't seem like you should put them together.
Yes, exactly. Would I eat that though? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd try it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had a leek.
They put one on my dish at the Chinese restaurant we went to?
Oh, you're
2
right.
days ago?
Did you try it?
No.
No.
I didn't know if I was supposed to eat it or not.
Well, here's the thing. Any good restaurant, everything you can eat,
Even the bowl.
even the bowl. Even that nasty piece of lettuce they put under the fried chicken, technically,
Eat it up.
you can eat it.
You can eat anything once.
But also I wanted to say this. I feel like I've said this before. But anytime a leak's brought up, I have to bring it up. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. There's a leak in the boat.
There's a leak in the boat.
It's the funniest, one of the funniest jokes ever.
It's the best joke ever. Clean joke.
Yep.
Perfect joke.
If you have time, put the clip in.
There's a leak in the boat!
Okay.
It's literally like a 2-second
Yeah.
clip. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
So good.
Such a good joke.
So good.
All right.
I even wrote in here, Tzarina has the funny chef hat on. But after that is asparagus with salmon eggs in truffle and Honda Days sauce.
On today's.
Come on down to Honda
Don't
Days.
ask me to go to Honda Days if you know this is a Toyota-thon family.
So, sounds pretty gross, right?
Yeah.
The flavor profile makes perfect sense.
Okay.
So you know how like we make asparagus, you put some lemon juice, some pepper, butter, oil, salt, bang.
Bang. Garlic.
You made it super unhealthy and it's technically a vegetable.
Okay, you could keep the butter out and it would still be healthy. Oil, lemon, pepper, garlic. That's
Yeah.
healthy. Just the butter. Don't add the butter.
Yeah. So basically this has a very similar flavor profile because the salmon eggs give kind of like the salt.
Ugh.
The truffle, hang on. Lemon pepper flavor from the Honda Days. Umami flavor from the truffle. So that's like another whole umami, whatever.
Umami, yes.
So yeah, it all kind of mixes in. And you know what? I'd try it.
Yeah, no, I'd try it. I like asparagus and I trust her.
Yeah.
So,
And then there was leek puree with scallops.
okay. I like scallops.
Yeah. I was expecting you to say there's a leak in the boat.
Yeah, I already made the joke.
That's
I
true.
can't be, I got to save it.
It's true. Smoked beetroot tartare with spicy avocado.
Okay, that was my question. So there was no raw meat in that.
No.
Say it again.
Smoked beetroot tartare with spicy avocado.
Wow. Who thought of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I guess how does anybody think of anything? But
Yeah.
that's wild. You look at it and it's like, that's beef tartare. No, it's smoked beet. Crazy.
Yeah.
I'd try it.
I'd try it, but then I'd be like, unless it was like really, really good, I'd be like, why are we doing this?
Right. I mean, the only thing I can think of, I'm looking it up right now. Smoked beet tartare. I mean, it's technically like a vegan thing, you know, if somebody's
Oh, that's
like,
true.
excuse me, like a good replacement for a vegan.
Can vegans eat eggs?
No.
There's
a
egg yolk.
vegetarian, I guess, then.
Vegetarian, yeah. Because there's egg yolk and tartare.
Okay, then yeah. That'd be a vegetarian.
You said you were going to look something up.
I am looking it up right now.
I thought I had time to take a drink. Next we have saffron risotto with lobster.
Oh, that sounds great.
And this is one where it's just good. You know, there's no crazy like mix match of flavors. It's just rich and creamy, meaty and buttery.
Stop saying those words.
Meaty and buttery.
Oh my God.
And then I fixed it. The last one was beef Wellington with creamy mashed potatoes and red wine sauce.
Oh, the best.
The best. How did you do all that
How did she
and
do
a
it?
beef Wellington?
I know. And Lara's going to complain about washing dishes.
Washing plates.
I can't.
I can't do it.
That is crazy, though.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm glad we're talking about this because, like, if Tzarina's listening to this, which I hope she is, like, that is so good. Like, you put her up against any of the chefs that we've seen in the last few seasons.
Yeah.
She runs circles around them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you couldn't even imagine, like, I'm thinking of, like, Jono,
Yeah.
who couldn't, like, put ice cream together.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You know, or like Anthony, who was like not getting any sleep and just
Yeah.
and turning out good enough food.
Yeah.
Crazy. She's just such a professional, and I don't think we give her enough credit for that.
Yeah. Well, she makes it look so easy, we forget.
Well, she also has a sous chef, so we'll give her that too. That
But
makes
still.
it a little easier, but yeah, like that's crazy.
And a very green sous chef.
And she did the beach picnic that same day.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job, Tzarina. So, yeah, I would ask for a 7-course tasting.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Sorry, we already kind of talked about Lara and her, but I just have to say, like, Lara goes to like Bree or someone, and she's like, I feel like I have to have a conversation with her, and I'm like, girl, no, you don't.
Nope.
Like, you freaking don't. And then she goes, she thinks everything's okay because I said sorry. I said, yeah, that's how it works.
That's usually how normal people act.
That's how apologies work. We don't think about it anymore.
That's how words work.
It's how conversations work.
Yeah, break it down.
What do you want her to do? Like, continue to like grovel at your feet? Like, no, she said what needed to be said. You said what needed to be said. Let's move on. But clearly you haven't.
Yeah, and like, you don't have to talk to her ever again after like tomorrow.
Right. So why would you have... I'm so glad that they didn't have another conversation, because I was like, what is the point?
Yeah.
And yeah, Tzarina just would have been so irritated.
Yeah.
She just... Yeah, whatever. Let's stop talking about it. We've already said what we need to say. Over 5 episodes, basically.
Yeah. Well, they did have another conversation.
It was brief, though.
Yeah,
it was
very
like
brief.
so short. I didn't even write anything down. What was it?
It was basically like she said what she said in that interview you were talking about, and Tzarina's just like, I don't know what else you want me to say.
Right.
And
like
then,
a normal person.
And then Lara's just like, well, I don't want to be friends anymore. Tzarina's
Oh, really?
Like, cool.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Adair's just wearing a hospital gown. Why don't we get any context for that?
That scene, I was like, what the hell did I just watch?
Where did she get a hospital gown?
I don't know.
That's my question. Like,
They might have gotten her from a hospital.
justice for Adair. That's what I have later on when she was leaving. I'm like, I wanted to see more of her.
Oh, I know.
But I think the reason, and we've said this before, it's because they're not dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, she had at no point was trying to stir up anything.
No.
She was just trying to be cool and live.
Yeah. Remember when Weehan thought he was in love with her?
Oh my God.
That was pretty funny.
That's her only like blip where she like gave him the time of day.
Yeah.
But like, who knows? Arguably, maybe she thought, I kind of have to entertain this because he's my boss.
Good.
Arguably, you'd have that was a little sketchier than maybe we even thought.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
I know. She might have thought, she was put in a difficult situation where she couldn't say no, because then that would have made it more awkward. Because really, she was put in the situation. She didn't prompt anything.
Yeah.
It's just tough because once your supervisor says that to you, you either say, okay, we'll date, or no, and then it's weird either way.
Oh, yeah.
You've messed it up, let's not talk about him anymore. So it's breakfast. Those blueberry pancakes, did you see those?
I did.
Oh my God.
And I was like, hubba hubba.
Then it was chorizo something else.
Mini tacos with chorizo, blueberry pancakes, and all the fixins.
Oh my God. After that dinner last night.
I know.
Jeez. Tzarina,
They're like, we're clearing out the pantry. Here you go.
you want to hang out?
Yeah.
Tzarina? We're pretty cool.
You want to be on our show?
Yeah, be on our show. We never ask anybody to be on our show. It's barely a show.
We have fun.
Okay. The last docking goes well. They basically let Harry do it. That was cool. Tip meeting. Oh, so the guests leave. They were happy.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything else to say there. Do you?
Didn't, what was his name? Like Kip or something? He looked like a Kip. The guest. He kind of looked like Captain Carey.
Yes.
Okay.
He reminded me of, like, I couldn't put my finger on it. And there's no way I'm going to be able to explain this, so I might not even try. But he just reminds me of the typical, like, frat guy, all grown up.
Yep.
you know, like
Yep.
your friend Mark or something, like all grown up.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got where he was just, yeah. But yeah, he did kind of look like Captain Carey too.
Yeah. He really reminds me of someone like one of my friends from high school's dad.
Yeah.
And he was just like, what's going on, guys? We partying tonight? I got brewskis in the beer. And we're like, we're not even going to take those, dude. Like, stop trying to be our friend.
What's the 411? What are the cool jams? Is there alcohol in these? Oh, God, honey, no. What kind of mother do you think I am? Why do you want some? Because I'd rather you do it in the house.
Is that Mean Girls?
Yeah. Okay, so the tip meeting, they get 25,500.
Damn.
Great, right?
Yeah.
Total for the season, 188,600.
Damn.
Ugh. We say this every season. We should go for 6 weeks and make, well, it didn't, if the total, I don't know how to divide that up. It didn't give us the total of each person,
Yeah.
but I'm not even going to try because I don't know how many ways they divide it.
That's true. And like, do they give it to the engineers,
Right.
the first mates?
You never know.
Who knows?
Tzarina gets the helmet because she's been begging for it.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. The clips of her being like, why didn't I get it?
She makes a good point. You obviously always want to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you always do well, you don't get the helmet.
Yeah. She did it right. I mean, she wanted to wear it, but she didn't want to do anything stupid.
And I love just the subtle hints to Captain, because at any point she could have been like, Captain, can I wear it? But she never did that. She was
Yeah.
always just like, oh man, it would be cool if I had the helmet, you know? Like,
I wish we would have seen like when it happened, when Nick got it. And she was like, all I had to do was drink on charter to get the helmet.
yes. But it was funny because Nate 100% deserved it.
Oh, yeah, he was ready for it. Yeah.
But Tzarina got it. I thought that was nice.
That's all I would have been thinking about sitting
Yep.
on that boat for 4 hours. Like, man, I don't want to wear that
He
stupid
should have just
fucking
brought the helmet back with him.
Honestly, yeah. Captain Jason, he should have came back with a bottle of water in the helmet.
You're wearing this for the entire 4 hours. Oh, could you imagine just driving by in a boat? There's a guy beached with a disco ball helmet on.
I'd be like, you know what? I gotta hear this.
Yeah.
I gotta hear the story. We have to stop here.
Oh, man. Okay, this is a random thing, but they're talking about, it was Alicia and Nate, and she says that he said kissy wissy, and everybody's like, what? No, he didn't.
Yeah.
She's like, no, he did. He said kissy wissy. They're like, no, he said smoochies. Not even close.
I know. Yeah, this was the whole point of my question of the day. Because, like, everything else is whatever. But then I would have been like, that's why you got the ick from me and you didn't even remember why.
Yeah, I would have gotten the ick from me if I said kissy wissy.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that, again, that's so random. But I was just like, what? The girl? No.
Yeah, and then she wouldn't comment on it.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to say something about Harry and Bree. And I want to see if you agree. Okay, every time we see them, and they're like, you know, they're like, what, the exclusive partnership, and then he's saying, like, GF. I'm like, okay, first of all, this is ringing like 13-year-olds.
Yep.
But it also is like people trying to convince us and themselves that everything's great and fine. I'm just going to say this, and I could actually say this now because they're not together anymore. It never came off as genuine to me.
I think without cameras, they like each other for like a week.
Yes.
They go on a date and both of them kind of maybe part ways, or Harry really likes her and she, I don't know. It's hard to say for me.
It is. And we talked about this like when they kind of first started talking or whatever. They are kind of similar in the fact of they're just really sweet and nice people.
Yeah, but they're like different different types of nice people almost.
Yes, and they're
Flavors
almost
was the word
different
I was
flavors
looking
of
for.
nice people, but too close to go well together.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm trying to think. Like chocolate and mocha. They're different, but you wouldn't be like, I want those two things together. You know?
Really?
I mean, why? It's just kind of redundant.
Oh.
It's a bad comparison. I'm trying to think of other ice cream flavors. Anyways, it was almost like they were too similar that like when you kind of want to be with someone who's makes up for like kind of your opposite, like makes up for like what you're not good at. They were just kind of the same.
It's like putting a hat on a hat.
That's not better than chocolate and mocha.
Well, that's an actual saying.
A hat on a hat is a saying?
Yeah,
No.
it is.
What's it mean?
It means like doing something twice, basically.
Well, you're right. It's not. It's coming up. Putting unnecessary addition on something that works by itself. Put a hat on a hat. Huh. Yeah, guess you're right. Anyways.
Rock on, belowdeckperts.
Whatever. So now we're basically to the crew night out with Captain. Did you notice his eyes were red?
No.
Okay, as Captain Jason was talking, his eyes were like noticeably red. It wasn't like is his eyes red? It was like, no, his eyes are red. But it didn't seem like he was crying.
Yeah.
So I was just like, what's going on there? What was that?
I made the wrong noise. You guys know what I'm talking about? You think he was high?
I was like, maybe. The red eyes, like, tell me if you guys saw that too, because I was just like, and maybe he was crying at some point, but
That's what I was thinking. Maybe he was crying about something they didn't show us.
yeah, but anyway, they were noticeably red.
Yeah, I just saw the flower in his ear. That's what I was focused on.
I didn't even see that.
See? Two different types of people.
Yep. All right, then they have another boys' bathroom chat. You know, here, I'm going to say this too. Hot take. They were trying to make this boys' bathroom chat a thing because with the graphic, why you shouldn't have wasted your time on that. They don't say anything worth value.
No.
You could have. Sorry, my head's itchy and I couldn't. Ow!
And just like that, that's not getting cut out.
So, but no, I'm like, love the idea of the whole like boys' bathroom chat.
Yeah.
But then they don't talk about anything at all. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of talk about it like dudes. Like, what's going on with your situation? Good. What's going on with yours? Good. Okay. But also, I have written down about the boys' bathroom chat. I understand that we can, but it doesn't mean that we should.
And what does that mean? What are you referencing?
It just does. It means we don't have to have the boys' bathroom chat.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we agree.
Yes.
Just because you can make that a thing doesn't mean you should make it a thing.
Yes.
I think they were really grasping at straws here for the last episode, because really we get Alicia and Tzarina's kiss. Whatever. There's really not much to say about that. They were just drunk and having fun. Marina and Nick were having fun. Like basically what we're saying, everybody's having fun. Harry's dancing with Alicia, which was completely innocent. And if you know Harry at all, which we don't even know him, but I know he's not like that. You know, it's like, but I said Lara just hates fun.
Yeah.
She's a fun sucker. Right?
Yes.
She's not dancing, like
funny
whatever.
word.
I was like, she's the worst girl to hang out with at a bar.
I know. Like, she's... yeah, just like a black hole of fun. Just sucks everything in. Doesn't add anything.
Right. I can't.
Because it's not like she's going to sit there and get drunk and say funny stuff. Like, nothing.
Nothing. She's just going to sit there and judge.
Yeah.
She's not going to get drunk enough to be fun.
Yeah. Which we don't know if that's possible for her.
Some people that suck, I'm not saying this is her, either go from not being drunk enough and not fun to being too drunk and like crying. And you're like, there was literally no good in between there.
No.
It's either not fun or crying, and they both suck.
Yeah. And there's always like a calm before the storm. Like they'll get quiet for like 10, 15 minutes. And you're
Yes.
like, all right, what's going to happen? What am I getting here? And then you wind the box, and they're crying in a bar.
Yep.
Or
yep.
they're puking off of 4 drinks.
Yep.
And you're like, how are you an adult?
Exactly. So, they basically try to... I don't think Bree would have been mad if Lara didn't bring it up either.
No.
Because then it's just like, it's whatever. They get over it.
She almost seemed like embarrassed that it was such a big thing.
Yes.
Because I don't think she ever thought like that she was ever mad at Harry.
No.
You know?
I think she genuinely was like, that's weird. And like, it'd be kind of like if I saw Brad doing that, I would be like, what? But I wouldn't be like, oh my God, what are you doing? It would just be like, that's something I didn't ever think I'd see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she was mad for a little bit because she did say like, well, if I was throwing it back on a guy, you would think the same thing, like something like that.
And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, but then Harry was just like, you know what? My bad. Sorry.
Right.
She was like, all right, that's what you had to say. Good job.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So then at the end of the night, they make things official. And she's
They
like,
do.
you wouldn't think him grinding with Alicia would come to this, but it has. I was like, good for you.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. So that's basically the end of the night. You have anything else?
I just thought of this. Don't Nick and Marina already kind of act like an old married couple?
Yeah, like I know there was like multiple times I made the note of like I love them. Yeah, I do love them. And that's what I'm saying. Like whenever I see them, I'm like that seems genuine
It does.
because they're not trying to force it. They're not trying to be. Here's another thing about Harry and Bree. They strike me as people who love to always look good. Not look good in the sense of like looks, appearance, which that might be something they care about too. But I'm just talking about like always want to be looked at as the good girl or the good boy.
Yeah.
Where it's like Marina and Nick just seem more genuine. And I'm not saying they're not being genuine. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and Marina and Nick already seem like they almost, I can't think of a word, but like Nick says something nerdy, Marina already like doesn't laugh, just kind of smiles, and then they move on. You know, it's not like, oh, that gave me the ick. You know, they're
Yeah.
already past all that stuff, it seems like.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So yeah, then basically this is everybody's goodbyes. Nick says, so long, Starship Katina.
Yeah.
In classic nerd fashion.
Yeah, super nerd. But when he was leaving, he hugs Adair and she just goes, all right, bye, see you never. And then I'm like, I could have watched a whole season of just Adair.
I know.
Just what is she up to?
Right. She's funny.
Yeah.
That's what we want. I want funny. I don't want dramatic.
Yeah.
But that's not what the show is. I'm seeing a preview for Below Deck, the next season coming up next week, and I'm just not excited. I'm just not.
It might be good.
I get this weird feeling about Kyle that I don't like. Mm-hmm. Did I say this last week? Mm-mm. Okay, let's finish up this episode because then we'll talk about it.
Okay. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Didn't even know that was on. That's how popular I am.
Oh, back to Adair. She said, the strawberry chocolates we have for turn downs are so good. And then it like freezes for a second.
And
That's what we want.
Yeah, I'm like, there wasn't another thought in her head
Yeah.
after that.
She's like, that's it. That's the thought.
That's it. That's what I got.
But I'm happy because Captain says she made the most progress, which I agree. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't get to see it. Thanks a lot, Bravo. But
Yeah. I thought you were going to be like, thanks a lot, Brad. It's like, what did he do?
it's always his fault. And then Lara says this is the hardest thing she's ever done. My opinion is you made it that way, but
Yeah.
go off, Queen.
Yeah, that was one thing that we didn't talk about was she kept saying, I can't deal with this in my life. Like, I can't deal with this in my life about Tzarina. And I'm like, you don't have to after tomorrow. And you didn't have to the whole time, but you made every single turn difficult.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, and then Tzarina leaves and she's like, I'm going to let my freak flag fly. And I was like, you go, girl.
Hell yeah, brother.
And that's basically it. Do you have anything else about people leaving?
I forgot about the Weevils at the beginning of the season in the kitchen.
Oh my God. Was that this season?
Mm-hmm. Didn't that feel like a million years ago?
That felt like a million years ago, for sure. What made you bring up the Weevils?
They showed it like a little part when she was leaving.
And we talked about how you had rice weevils too.
Yeah, we did.
Ugh.
What?
God. Okay, question. Who would we want to see back?
Lara, Weehan. I could go another season with Harry, Tzarina, definitely Adair, Marina, Nick. Pretty much everybody besides Lara.
I said pretty much everybody besides Lara. But then I'm going to take that back because I think I'd like to see Nate back. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Alicia back. Adair, Marina, Nick. If I had to cut Bree and Harry, I would.
If I had to cut Alicia, I would.
Okay. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's just kind of all over the place.
Right. So yeah, that's basically the end of the season. I have some updates. Harry and Bree are not together. Reportedly, they're still very close and talk often, but guess what? Who gave that quote? Lara.
Really?
Yes.
That's insane.
Ugh, whatever. Lara and Tzarina are, quote, not in touch, which we know from Instagram.
It's good.
Tzarina blocked Harry on Instagram.
Really?
And I don't know specifically why. I mean, you guys can tell me in the comments if you know specifically what happened, but I believe during when the show was airing, Harry said something. Like, maybe he went on, Watch What Happens Live and said a comment. And she basically said she didn't feel like he supported her like she supported him. That's all. That's
fair.
The quote I got. Lara and Jono are working together currently. Well, as of when that article was written, which I thought was random.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of unclear on Marina and Nick, which I didn't look up their Instagrams, which I don't even know if I'd be able to find it. Let me see if I can find Marina.
Marina from Below Deck.
Followed by, let's see, traveling the world as a stewardess. Okay, this is her. Let's see. Oh, here's her and Nick. So it looks like a week ago they posted a picture of them, and this was Nick. Nick posted it and said, "Always remember what the real treasure is." That was the quote. Mm-hmm. And people in the comments are like, "I hope you're still together." But nobody's saying anything. Let's see.
He could have found a treasure map. That could mean anything.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think Captain Jason might be short.
Really?
Look at this picture.
No way.
I know. Look at it. I can't zoom because it's Instagram.
I mean, they're all in heels, but still.
He's basically there. Yeah.
Damn.
That's where they get you.
That sucks.
Adair and Marina talk every day. They're really good friends.
That's good.
I want to see them back.
I want them to have their own show.
I want Marina to come back as Chief Stew.
Yeah.
And Adair to come back as I don't care where she comes back. I just want her back.
She's the captain. Screw it.
Yeah, screw it. She's the captain. They're on their own boat.
Yeah.
Captain and first mate.
They would have a great TV show together.
I know. It'd be so entertaining.
Yeah. Even if it's just a written show, it'd still be hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically it. We have one question. What are your feelings about Lara trying to con Tzarina into asking the guest to put the 7-course meal down? In my opinion, I think it's risking a bigger tip, which I agree.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I think she blew them away, and that's why the tip was so good. Yeah. In my opinion. They specifically put it on the preference sheet. I also think Tzarina handled it with the guests perfectly by recommending small portions. Finally, would you Oh, they said, finally, would you ask for a huge course meal if ever on a charter? If so, what would the theme be?
Ooh, good question.
My answer is I would do it exactly the way they did it. I'd be like chef's choice. I would tell her not what I don't like. Like I don't like mushrooms and onions and whatever, but I'd be like, besides that, like I'll try anything.
Meat night.
Explain. That's it. There will be no explanation, just reputation.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That the tip would have been a lot less if she was like, "Well, do you guys want to do 5?"
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah, and Lara's only reasoning was like, "Well, they haven't been eating much. Yeah, they've been puking."
Well,
They asked
and
for
that's
it.
why Tzarina was like small portions, which worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do the same thing that these guests did, to be honest. And she like rocked it, so I would like makes me want it even more. Meat night, only meats. Keto night, only blocks of cream cheese.
Meat night.
Okay, what's the secret word?
Meat night.
It's gotta be right.
gotta be it,
yeah,
yeah.
because like if you made it this far,
Yeah.
yeah, secret word meat night.
Meat night.
Last thing, we are gonna go live this Saturday, May 31st at 12 Central Time. So noon, not midnight. Noon Central Time. I figured what we'll talk about is our Boston trip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't really talk much about that today.
And then we'll do our bingo cards.
Yes, so we'll talk about our trip to Boston, and then we'll do bingo cards for the upcoming season. You guys can tell us what you're excited for, what you're not excited for. You can help us put our bingo cards together. You could even do your own bingo cards. But anyway, we'll go live on YouTube on Saturday, the 31st.
Yeah.
12 Central.
And if you have any prompts for like crazy predictions, I'm down.
Yep. We'll take notes. Yep.
Anything you want to keep cold, son.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you for another amazing season. This was like by far our most successful season yet.
Yeah.
Really,
Dang.
fingers crossed. Like I shouldn't say I'm not excited for this season, because to be honest, we get the most views when we do below deck.
It's true. Yeah.
So, to all you that have been here, we love you. All of our new listeners, thank you so much. Continue to like, share, subscribe. The numbers keep going up. I think it'd be. It's a little bit of a lofty goal, but it would be really cool to get to 1,000 by the end of this next season.
Yeah.
I think it's doable.
I think it is. Yeah.
So, but yeah, we do have that. When we hit 750, we're gonna do like a giveaway or two.
Yeah.
And then hopefully hit 1,000 by the end of this next season. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
We'll see you on Saturday. And if we don't see you there, we'll see you next season.
Another time.
Another day. Bye-bye.
Bye.